Hey everybody, it's George Tromby with Japanese from Zero, and we're going to be talking about this blank screen right here that has nothing happening. There it is. We are going to be talking about the ups and downs of business trips. Not really. We're going to be talking about verbs in Course 4, Lesson 5. This book right here. If you don't have a copy, you can get it from one of the sources right there. It is not required. I get asked a lot, do I need the books? No, but there are some really fun activities in the books that you cannot get by just being on Yes Japan. All right, moving on. We're going to be talking about the verbs. This first one means to turn, like in a car, or to have something bend or warp or twist.
Magaru.
Let's look at some of the sentences here. So we have a designated spot, like a place where you can turn, de Magaru. Using the event location marker de, the turning happens at this spot. Okay, for example, stoplights or a red house or something like that. Number 2 is a direction, ni Magaru. Ni is your location destination marker. So it marks the thing where you're going to turn into. So for example, you can turn left, you can turn right, you can turn to the west or the east, okay? Or a certain path, o Magaru. I feel like this has always been the trickiest one for me when I was learning, but you know, sometimes spit goes down the, excuse me, the wrong part of your throat. Let me just get some water here. Well, that took a crazy turn, didn't it? So you can turn a certain path, o Magaru. Like for example, go around this curve. It's kind of like that. All right, let's look at some, there it is, a curve or a corner. Let's get to some sentences finally. Here we go. I'm going to play it. I want you to try to see if you know it in English. I will give you a little bit of time, but remember the rules. You have to say it out loud. That's right, Megumi. You have to say it out loud. Here we go. What does this mean in English?
その信号で曲がります。その信号で曲がります。
All right, what is this, guys? Did you say it out loud? Because you know you can lie to yourself if you don't. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. All right, so we have その信号. Shingo is a stoplight or a traffic light. At that traffic light, 曲がります. Magarimas, in that form, we know it's super basic. It's future tense, I will turn, or I always turn. It's an ongoing thing. So for example, if the topic was, oh, how do you always get to your house? You could have you could say, いつも always その信号で曲がります. I always turn at that light. But if I said, what are you going to go? Where are you going to go next? We're driving somewhere. Where do I go next? その信号で曲がります. You turn at that light, or I will turn at that light. It's all context when we're talking about must form. Now, I know some of you think, I already know this. Why are you teaching this? Because sometimes it helps to get the basics even in an advanced lesson. All right. I will turn at the stoplight is what we're doing in this translation. But like I said, it could have been, I turn at that stoplight. Okay. Depending on the context, everything is context. All right, moving on.
左に曲がってからまっすぐ行きます。左に曲がってからまっすぐ行きます。
Okay. Now, what is this? We have 左に to the left, 曲がってから after turning to the left, まっすぐ行きます. I will go straight. Or we go straight, depending on the context. Okay, you go straight after turning left. All right, now, this one is a little bit hard. I want to see if those of you watching the live stream, we are streaming right now live on Twitch. I want you to tell me what this means.
欅坂46の角を曲がるという曲が好きです。
I'm waiting to see who can answer this in the stream. First one to get it is the Japanese king of the day or queen of the day. One more time.
欅坂46の角を曲がるという曲が好きです。
Okay, so it's 欅 Zaka 46. That is a Japanese girl group. Okay, you probably needed to know that, but there's a lot of girl groups that end in 46. And actually, Keaki Zaka 46 literally changed their name to, I think, Sakura Zaka 46. So that might be a little bit confusing. But Keaki Zaka 46 no, they own that thing. We're modifying the thing in brackets with that no. I should have made that green, but I forgot. Kado o Magaru という曲が好きです. I like the song called Kado o Magaru, Turn the Corner. Okay, so I like the song, Keaki Zaka's song, Turn the Corner. Okay, it is the same company that made AKB48. So they have a bunch of different versions of this script. They have NMB and all of these different versions, and this is one of them. And I guess Keaki Zaka was hard for people to understand. Like it wasn't, they weren't getting enough traction, I guess, and they changed their name to Sakura Zaka, using the old way to write Sakura, not the current way, but the old like Edo period, I guess, or before it changed version of the kanji. So you might still not be able to read it, but they would change their name because it's more approachable. All right. So here, there's a song called Turn the Corner. All right. What's this one?
交差点で右に曲がってください.
Right. So you'll see here, in this first one, we have a future tense or an ongoing tense thing, some sort of habitual thing. Or we have magatte kara, which shows one action happening before another. And here we have it in its dictionary form, just the title of a song. And now we have a command. So, 交差点で右に曲がってください. At the traffic intersection, to the right, please turn. So please, now you'll notice if we reverse this in the translation, you'll get perfect English. Please turn right at the intersection. If you're ever stuck on a sentence, start from the back. Now, typically, if you have a subject or a topic that's doing the action, that'll be the first thing. So for example, let's say that this was magarimasu instead. You could say, watashi wa kosaten de migi ni magarimasu. Then you have to get the topic first. So then you jump to the back of the sentence, turn right at the intersection. All right. So with the exception of the topic or sometimes the subject of the sentence, which is normally at the beginning of the sentence, after you get that, you can go all the way to the back of the sentence and start translating. So please turn to the right at the intersection. Moving on. All right. Next verb.
Agaru.
Agaru. It means to go up, to come up, to go. It's to come up. It's to go in some circumstances, and it's to come up or go up. Okay. I think I should have wrote go up there instead of just go. All right. So something o agaru is to go up, like, for example, stairs. Okay. And you got location ni agaru, which means to go up to a specific location. Okay. Now, we're going to look. Now, this is something that is very confusing when you first start learning Japanese and you get to these verbs. In English, we have words like go up, climb. We have those different words, but Japanese, they also do that, but it's the same kanji and it's a little bit confusing. So for example, when it's agaru with the ue kanji, it's stairs or upper floors or something like that. You're literally going up onto something. Now, I'll have graphics at the end to show you. Then when it's written this way, noboru, it's to climb or ascend. Now, if you mess this up, it's not that big of a deal. You'll still be understood. But I'm just showing you that if you wanted to get really precise in your Japanese, you would know these. I'm pretty sure I've made mistakes. I don't say yama o agaru, I say yama noboru. I wouldn't say agaru. Now, here's where it gets even more complicated. When you're climbing up a mountain, you have to use this kanji. Now, this is where Japanese is crazy. You will get corrected theoretically by a teacher if you use this ue kanji instead of this. There's a word that might help you remember. It's tozan, and it's written with this. Tozan, it means to mountain climb. It's always written with this kanji first. I don't know if that'll help you, but look it up. Mountain climbing has its own word in Japanese. All right, now let's look at these graphics here. So this is sort of a visualization to show you. This is agaru. Like, for example, a child could agaru onto the table. He could get up onto the table. So you wouldn't want him to do that, but that's kind of the visualization there, right? And so there's some sort of climbing action onto not a mountain, right? Well, actually, Noboru works for stairs too, so that's good. So you could kaidan o noboru or kaidan o agaru. And then Noboru is used for mountains and stuff like that. All right. If you think about a more difficult way to climb, it's probably going to be this one. You're using like your hands and your arms and you're struggling. Whereas maybe stairs and a normal standard mountain are going to use these type of things. I'm kind of just making it up as I go, honestly, on this, because when I think of Noboru, when I don't know a kanji, if let's say that you didn't know which kanji to use, just do what I do, write hiragana. You could learn it or you could write hiragana. This isn't going to destroy you. Your friendships aren't going to end. You're not gonna be kicked out of your job at your company unless your job is to know which kanjis these are. All right, let's look at some example sentences.
食事の後、2階に上がりましょう。
All right, those of you in the stream, what does this mean?
食事の後、2階に上がりましょう。
Oh, that's very good, by the way. Son of Flynn, his name is Jack, he says Yama Nobori. That's mountain climbing. Another way to say mountain climbing, written with that other kanji. All right, Fish and Rice says, let's go up to the second floor after the meal, right? So in a cooler way of saying this, yeah, I would say after eating, right? Shokuji means a meal, but that's a weird thing to say in English, after a meal, right? So shokuji no ato, after we eat, 2階に上がりましょう. Let's go upstairs, okay? After dinner. Because yeah, shokuji also means dinner. Let's go up to the second floor, 2階に上がりましょう. Because we're going upstairs, we're going to use agaru. All right, what's this one? Ah, dang it.
給料が上がりました。
Now, this is to show you that it doesn't have to be something that you did. It could just show you that something went up on its own, and it doesn't have to be something physical. Here, your salary went up.
給料が上がりました。
All right? Try not to give you the answer.
来週から気温が上がります。
Now, you might not know this word kion, but that's okay. You can learn it right now. Everything else you should know. So, 来週から something が上がります。
来週から気温が上がります。
You know, if anything, when you watch this lesson, this is where maybe you will go do your own research. You know, I'm going to give you what I understand about it, what we have in the... By the way, what I'm teaching, this actually isn't even in the book. We only just teach Agaru and Sagaru, which is coming up. We don't teach these other versions of it, but I figured the video would be a place to give you a little bit more bonus information. Really, the book is much more simplified and not driving you. I don't like to drag people down this crazy maze of understanding where which kanji do I use? Because it's confusing. You really just need to know that all we're trying to teach here in these example sentences are going up. Okay.
来週から気温が上がります。
All right, Jack says the temperature will start getting warmer. It's pretty good. 来週から from next week. So from next week, the temperature will rise. Okay. Very good. Here we go.
階段を上がって右に曲がってください。階段を上がって右に曲がってください。
All right. 階段を上がって右に曲がってください. So, what is it? Go up the stairs and turn right. Maybe someone asks you, where is the bathroom? Or maybe you ask somebody, where is the bathroom? And the response is, 階段を上がって右に曲がってください. And maybe after that, they would say, あそこにあります. It's there. Okay? All right, moving on. Now we're going to do Noboru, which is not in the book. Okay, this is bonus stuff.
子供たちが木に登りました。
Now here we could have ki o, like they climbed the tree, and ki ni, they climbed up to the tree, basically. So it doesn't really matter what you have here. Matter of fact, I think you could get away with saying ki noborimashita without the ni or the o. A lot of times Japanese like to drop those particles. Not all the time, but they can.
子供たちが木に登りました。
Okay? It's just for some reason never agaru. But if you said, now I want to point this out. Now a lot of people want to be perfect in their Japanese, but if you said 子供たちが木に上がりました, it's 100% understandable. There would be no mistake in their understanding. But maybe the Japanese person would just respond back to you, ki ni nobotta ne. Ki ni nobottan desu ne. Now listen for this. When Japanese people will not say to you, you're wrong. They'll say, oh, this Japanese is incorrect. Why don't you say this Japanese? What they do is they respond back to you with the correct version, the one that sounds more natural to them. So keep your ears open for that. A long time ago, one of my students said, the problem with my level now is I've gotten so good and no one's giving me feedback anymore. And I said, if you listen to them, they always give you feedback. Like, for example, if you said, I like Nakos. I like Nakos. They go, neko desu ne. They would give it back to you on the right accent. Okay. Or if you said something that needed to be long and you said it short, like if you said, ashita gakko e ikimasu. Gakko instead of gakko. They'd say, gakko desu ne. They would repeat it back to you with the proper version. So keep that in mind. All right, next one.
最近、階段を登るとき、息が切れます。
Now, this is very current times for us. It is January 3rd, 2021 as I record this video. And we just had this big pandemic thing that happened. It's not over yet. Maybe this is something you would say.
最近、階段を登るとき、息が切れます。
All right. So, 最近, recently. 階段を marks the thing that you are doing the verb to. When I climb or go up stairs recently, 息が切れます. Now, you might not know 息が切れる, but it means you run out of breath. 切れる means to run out of, to sell out, if you're talking about items in a store. But 息が切れます. It doesn't mean I'm able to cut breath. 切る means to cut, right? But 切れる in that form can mean it's sold out. 売り切れる to be sold out or to be out of. Okay, so recently when I climb the stairs, I run out of breath. And I've heard, I'm curious. Those of you that have had corona, in the comments, let me know if this is still a problem for you and how long after your corona was cured did you still have this problem. All right, moving on.
熊は木に登れます。
Very simple one. You should all be able to get this one.
熊は木に登れます。熊は木に登れます。
Kuma means bear or bears. Kini, trees. That's the place where they're climbing. Noboremasu. They're able to. Bears are able to climb trees. Look it up. It's very scary. A lot of people think they can just climb up the tree and be safe. No, you cannot be safe. All right, remember, say it out loud.
太陽が昇るとき、大きく見えます。
Now, I want to point out one thing. You'll notice that the first two of these were using the ue kanji, the up kanji. And here we use the climb kanji, noboru, because we're talking about climbing up a tree, like we showed in the earlier slide. But here, I put this one in here just to show you there's yet another kanji, but noboru still means to go up, agaru still means to go up, right? So here they're saying this is specific to the sun, okay? Taiyo ga noboru, and I imagine the moon could use this too. So this means when the sun goes up, okiku miemasu. And if we wanted to make nice English, we might say rise would be a good translation for this kanji. When the sun rises, it looks big, okay? It appears big. Good job, Erichi or Erikai. Not sure how you read your name there. All right, now let's move on.
降りる。
So oriru is just the opposite of agaru. We're using the down kanji, oriru, to go down, to get off, or to climb down. Okay? So we've got something kara, from something you come down. Or like from the table if you're standing on top of the table. And something o oriru is to also get off of something. All right? So now we're going to, the same kanji, the same down kanji can also be read kudaru. Okay? This oriru is stairs, podium, upper floor, whatnot. Then there's this one, kudaru. This is the opposite of noboru, to go up a mountain. This is to come down, basically, a mountain, kudaru. Okay? And then this one, sagaru, is steps, price. These are things coming down. Before we had, what was going up? Salary. So, 給料が下がりました. My salary went down. Okay. So, to come down, to move down. All right. So here we go. You can see that it's the opposite. With Agaru, we were coming up on this side, and now we're coming down. And here we are, Kudaru. And, okay, Sagaru, somewhere in between. All right, here we go. Some example sentences. Starting easy.
1階に降りましょう。1階に降りましょう。
So, 1階 is the first floor. To that first floor, 降りましょう. Let's go down. Let's go down to the first floor. Okay?
舞台から降りました。
Now again, you might not know this word 舞台. Put it in your notes. 舞台 means a stage. 舞台から降りました. Now, we don't know. If we just hear this, this is the problem when you learn Japanese in a textbook, right? Or in a video like this. There's no context. Now, I'm going to give you two possible contexts. I'm looking at a famous person who's on the stage, and I'm waiting to meet with her after to get an autograph. I excitedly say, 舞台から降りました. She got off of the stage. She came down from the stage, right? The other scenario might be someone is the actress herself, and she says, 舞台から降りました. I got off of the stage, okay? So, all depends on who's talking. Japanese does not need, nor does it seem to favor, having the topic always stated. It should be known. If you don't know, you could say, 誰が? That's a common thing. If someone says, 舞台から降りました, and let's say you weren't paying attention or you didn't understand the context, you would say, 誰が? Who did? 誰が舞台から降りました? You don't have to say the whole thing, just 誰が? Who? All right, next one.
山を降りるときに怪我をしました。山を降りるときに怪我をしました。
Now, when you don't have a topic, just assume it's I, because that's what people do. If someone says this out of their mouth and there wasn't a topic, it's them. Okay? Just like if someone asks a question to you and there wasn't a preset topic, even though there's no topic like you in there, it means you. If I look at you and say, 何歳ですか? I don't have to say, あなたは何歳ですか? How old are you? It's assumed that if I'm asking you a question, it's to you. And if a person says some sort of statement, assume it's about them. And if you're confused, ask 誰が? All right.
山を降りるときに怪我をしました。
So, 山を降りるときに when I descended or came down from the mountain, 怪我をしました. I got injured. Okay? When I climbed down the mountain, I got injured. Final one.
高速道路の2番出口で降りてください。高速道路の2番出口で降りてください。
Now, this is good for instructional things like a map. Like where, please come to my house. How do I get there? Or you're on the phone and they're trying to guide you in, and for some reason you don't have Google Maps on your phone. So, 高速道路 means high-speed road, a freeway. Now, in Japan, by the way, they typically don't have freeways. All their freeways are not free. They're just highways. They cost money. In America, almost all of our freeways are free. So if you're going to drive a car in Japan, be ready to pay some pretty hefty tolls. And weirdly enough, sometimes you pay when you get on and when you get off, and in the middle. There's weird rules. So, 高速道路の2番出口. This is the second or the number 2 exit, exit 2. That's the location. で, that's where we're getting off. 降りてください. Please get off at second exit of the highway. Okay? Or as we call it in America, the freeway. All right, this note came a little bit late, but here we have another kanji that's unique. Again, when we're speaking, it's always going to be oriru. But if you were talking about moving things, you would have to use this kanji officially. All right. Here we go. Now we're going to talk about Kudaru and Sagaru. This is not in the book. This is just bonus for this lesson. If you don't want to waste your brain cells on this new stuff, you can just kind of half listen to it. It's important enough that it would come up later on anyway. That's like what I like to do when I learn is if something is important enough and I'm not feeling like I can do it right now, I just hold off. I know, if this is important enough, it'll come up later. And that's the same thing with this. Kudaru, you might not hear as much.
テスラの株価は今年下がらないと思います。テスラの株価は今年下がらないと思います。
Now, if you're young, like 13, you probably won't get anything out of this sentence. But this is the year that I started investing in the stock market. So this is why this sentence is here. So Tesla means Tesla. Tesla no kabuka. Kabu is a stock. Kabuka is stock price. What about that stock price? 今年, this year, 下がらない won't go down と思います. I think Tesla's stock price won't go down this year. Okay?
昨日より気温が下がりました。昨日より気温が下がりました。
All right, so we have yori, which is a comparator. Okay. More than yesterday. Kion is the outside temperature, specifically air temperature outside. Okay. Ga sagarimashita. Okay. Ondo is just temperature. It could be water temperature. It's any kind of generic temperature. But kion is like air temperature, weather related temperature. So kino yori kion ga sagarimashita. Okay? The temperature is lower than yesterday. Okay? All right.
カヌーで川を下りました。
So I'm pretty sure you figured out what canoe means. Canoe. There is a stock of another electric vehicle company called Canoo, for the record, but that's not what I was doing here. Canoe de. Now here, just for refreshing issues here, refreshing your brain, de here is not event location marker. Okay? It doesn't mean in the canoe. This is a tool marker or a method of transportation marker, how something was done. In a canoe, with a canoe, kawa o kudarimashita. We went down the river in a canoe. Okay? Or by canoe. That's a better translation. All right. Here we go.
急な坂道を自転車で下るのは危険です。
Did you hear sounded like she said jidensha? Jitensha.
急な坂道を自転車で下るのは危険です。
She definitely said jidensha. That is not correct. Let's listen to that one more time. There's actually a really funny mistake coming up too.
急な坂道を自転車で下るのは危険です。
I think she was saying jitensha, but it was a little bit weaker. Jidensha, right? So, 急な坂道. So, this is probably the most complicated sentence here because there's a lot of words you might not know. 急な means steep. Sakamichi is a slope or a hill. So, 急な, it's a na adjective, modifying the slope. So, a steep incline or a steep hill. O, that's the thing that the verb is applied to. It's the object marker. Jitensha de, by bicycle. Sagaru no wa, going down, is dangerous. Kiken desu.
急な坂道を自転車で下るのは危険です。
Oh, did I spell canoe wrong? Thank you. Amber, thank you. It should be Canoe. I believe what I did was the stock name. I think the stock name is with 2 O's. My bad. Okay. Moving on. These are going to be easier verbs than everyone we just did. So this is just some other verbs that are in the lesson.
出張する。
This means to take a business trip. That's all. Okay? Okay? So basic, to go to a place to take a business trip is using ni, like Tokyo ni shuchou suru, to take a business trip to Tokyo. And this other verb is
びっくりする。
You probably already know it by now. You didn't have to wait for book 4 to show it to you. You're going to hear Japanese people, if you watch any Japanese TV, which I assume you're doing, you're going to hear, oh, bikurishita. Bikurishita. It means, oh God, that surprised me so much. To be surprised.
びっくりする。
Bikkurisuru. Okay? Is this a new verb? Why is this a new verb? We have a revision coming, so we're trying to make the videos future-proof. So it's possible not in the version that you have, but it's a good verb to know. This is not in the current version of the book, so it's a bonus for everyone, because the new version of the book isn't out at the time of me making this video. So bikkurisuru is to be surprised. Okay? Something ni bikkurisuru, to be surprised at a thing. Okay. Sorry, I jumped a little bit. I thought there was more coming up, but it just jumped right to the next thing. All right. Here we go.
来月、韓国に出張します。
I wish I could do that. But unfortunately, we cannot travel.
来月、韓国に出張します。
来月, next month. 韓国に to Korea. 出張します. I will take a business trip. Next sentence, moving on.
東京に3日間出張しました。
These are pretty easy. I think you understand. 3日間 means for a period of 3 days. I took a business trip for a period of 3 days to Tokyo. Okay? You don't have to say the word period, though, of course.
電話の音にびっくりしました。
Okay? So this one, I was thinking about this earlier, but 電話の音にびっくりしました. This could be two things, I was thinking. One, I heard the sound of the phone and I was like, oh, it scared me. The sound of the phone, we would say most of the time scared me in English, right? But I was surprised at the sound of the phone. If in English we said, I was surprised at the sound of the phone, you might think, why? Was it because it was a weird sound? Like the phone rings and it goes like this. Oh, hang on, that's my wife. You know, like that's a little bit surprising, right? So, but here they're just surprised that they were trying to concentrate on something, maybe in the phone rang. Okay. I was surprised at the sound of the phone, not by the quality or style of the sound of the phone. All right.
あのドラマの話の展開にびっくりしました。
Now, this one, you probably don't know tenkai, I'm guessing. You know the rest of it, but you don't know tenkai. Let's listen one more time.
あのドラマの話の展開にびっくりしました。
Now, you're going to hear this tenkai word since I've told it to you. If you're watching any type of Japanese TV, you might hear 意外な展開. Like unexpected progression of the story. So, tenkai means some sort of change or progression in a story. So, あのドラマの話の展開にびっくりしました. So, I was surprised, びっくりしました, by the story development of that drama. So, if you're watching a drama and something weird happens, you could say this to somebody. You would have already had to have been talking about that drama to say like, あのドラマ right there, because it's kind of already a known entity. You might even just say, いやー、すごかった, it was amazing. 話の展開に, or just 展開にびっくりしました. I was surprised at the story development. All right. Oh, my favorite part. So now we're going to be doing social media usage. And as always, if you have a mobile phone with you, point your camera to any QR code that you see on the screen, and you can watch whatever was related to this person. This is a Japanese idol. She's very cute, as you can tell, very cute eyes. Although, you should never trust the mask, just for the record. Never trust the mask. Everyone looks good with a mask. You might have noticed this now that we have masks all over the world now. But before, when it was only Japan, you'd see a cute girl, and then there was just a possibility that she's cute when she's got the mask on. Don't trust the mask. All right. So she is part of a group, but in this case, she actually is cute because she's an idol girl. She's in this group called Surijie. It's some sort of French name or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it means. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. So let's go ahead and listen to what she says here.
寒くてマスク曲がった。
Okay. 寒くてマスク曲がった. And you can see her music video here, by the way. All right. So.
寒くて.
So this kute, we're going to do some analysis, by the way. It's not always going to be about lesson 4, but we're trying to make sure we understand what happens in normal Japanese. That's why we show the social media stuff so that we can actually see it in usage. So if the first usage that we learn with a kute is that it shows stringing adjectives together to say it's this and this and this and this. So you could say chisakute kawaii, for example. Cute and small. It's really like an and. But when it's used this way, it's showing that it's the reason. Chisakute, it's like saying being small. If I said chisakute. Samukute is being cold, or because it's cold, what happened? Mask magatta. Okay? My mask warped. Now, I guess it's coming down a little bit over here, but I would not have noticed this, but I think girls are a little bit more sensitive to fashion.
寒くてマスク曲がった。寒くて曲がる。
All right. So this is a good example of using Magaru to say that it warped instead of turned. All right. Now, listen to this one. And by the way, this particular girl, she's a YouTuber. She does makeup tutorials, and you can go to her channel here. You might think I'm biased, and I am, to choose cute girls. Here we go.
モニターの上につけるカメラは二度と買わない。なぜなら上見ちゃうから黒目の位置が上に上がって中顔面伸びて見えるから。
Now, I actually learned a new word here, which hopefully you'll learn too with me. Let's go ahead and analyze this. So, monitor jo means on top of a monitor. Ni aru camera, a camera that's on top of on a monitor. So, it could be a built-in camera on the monitor. Wa nidoto, never again. Now, nidoto is always used with a negative verb. Nidoto shinai, I'll never do it twice, is what they're really saying. But it means I will never do it again. So nidoto kawanai means I will never buy a camera on top of a monitor again. This is a really cool word. Naze nara.
なぜなら。
The reason why is, let's see what my next word was. Okay. Ue michau kara, because you look up. Now my camera is like directly in line with my face. So maybe her camera was up a little bit too high. So ue michau kara. Now I'm in a little bit detailed here. This is actually a book 5 lesson, but when you have chau, it is a informal version of te shimau, which means an action that happens uncontrollably or uncontrollably, uncontrollably, or it's a regret. Here it's like, I end up looking up. So kurome, the pupil or iris of my eye, that the circular part of your eye. No, ichi means position. Sorry, I don't have that word here, but ichi means position. Ga ue ni agatte, the position goes up on her eye. Okay. And chugamen, this is the new word that I did not know. The center of her face, nobite mieru kare, it looks like it's stretched out. Is there no more word? Yeah, nobiru, stretch, nobiru. Okay. So here you go. Here's what she's talking about. Chugamen. Okay. That is this part of the face. I never knew that was a thing. Like I knew like there's kahanshin and johanshin, like upper part of your body and lower part of your body, but I never knew this. So that's what you get when you have a camera above your monitor. All right. Now, one more. Now, there's a slight mistake in here. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's not in the text here. It's in what my wife reads. Get ready for it.
いやー、ソニーストア様から PSS が届きました。でかすぎてびっくりした。これ宅配じゃなく、車もない人は持ち帰るの結構大変そう。
Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
いやー、ソニーストア様から PSS が届きました。でかすぎてびっくりした。これ宅配じゃなく、車もない人は持ち帰るの結構大変そう。
Now, by the way, these are real tweets. None of these have been made by us. The only thing that happened right now is my wife called the PS5 a PSS, and I can understand that because she doesn't quite understand gaming. So yeah, you know, if you're having a hard time getting the PS5, just get the PSS. It's the closest you're gonna get. So, todoku means to arrive or to be delivered. So, Yeah. So he's saying, yeah, oh man. Sony store, the Sony store. Sama, he makes it more polite. Kara, from them, PS5 が届きました. My PS5 arrived. And this is pachi pachi is the sound of clapping. Pachi pachi. Okay, I think he might be waving too with this face. I'm not sure. でかすぎてびっくりした. でかい meaning huge. でかすぎる too huge. でかすぎて just like that kute that we had earlier, being that it is this. This is being that it is too big. Sugiru means excessive, excessively big. Being that it's too big, or because it's too big, I was surprised. これ、宅配じゃなく, okay? Oh, there it is. There's the sugiru. You throw that on the end of any e adjective with the e removed. I know your brain is probably already exploding, especially if you're new to these videos and this is your first one. So, 宅配 is home delivery. So, これ, this, 宅配じゃなく, if it wasn't home delivery, right? Not home delivery, but 車もない人, people without a car は持ち帰るのが, bringing it home for people without a car の結構大変そう。帰るの, this is bringing, 持ち帰るの, it's the nominalized verb, so bringing it home, 結構大変. It's pretty hard, apparently. So, okay, it seems like it'd be pretty hard. So what he's saying is, this thing is so big that if he hadn't had it home delivered, oh my gosh, people without cars, you know, that had to bring it home themselves, it seems like it's going to be a lot of work. Now, I did find doing a Japanese man if you want to take some time and just watch a Japanese man talk about the PS5 as he opens it, you could scan this video here. All right. Oh, and there it is. 大変.
大変
Okay, let me go through the words.
届くでかい過ぎる宅配持ち帰る結構大変
Phew, that's it, guys. Boom. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all in the next video. And just to let you know, I am now live streaming on Twitch. The current channel is Twitch TV/my name, which is George Trombley, Trombley. I'll see you there. Bye, guys.